everyone. Welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting. I was like taken by surprise, even though I knew the song was ending. I was still like, oh yeah, I did it. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. We're doing this whatever report on a Sunday instead of our usual Saturday. It is Mother's Day weekend. My mom and my dad did come down yesterday, and we had dinner. Well, actually, they came down Friday, and then we had dinner last night, did all that last night, and then they went back today. So, yeah, we bumped the night. We weren't doing D&D because it is Mother's Day. So some of the other guys had some stuff going on. So instead, it's just me hanging out. I don't know how many people are going to hang out with me because it is, But I'm not wearing my Nightwing shirt. This is Craig Gordon. Hey, Gordon, what's going on? We had GTK in here early tailgating. Oh, well, I say early. He was back right before we started, so he's probably still here. But no Nightwing shirt tonight. We are, we just a different T-shirt. Just a T-shirt that I own. So, but we're hanging out. I hope you guys are had a wonderful weekend. It's coming rapidly to an end, unfortunately. But yeah, we're here. It's Saturday. I'm going to ramble for a little, or it's not Saturday, it's Sunday. And I'm going to ramble for a little bit because I didn't get to last night. So, let's get into this. So we'd always start with what are we drinking? Well, tonight, because I got to be up and go to work. And honestly, I had some stuff last night and Friday. So we're just drinking water tonight. Just a little water this evening, so nothing too exciting on that front. What is coming up on the channel? So let's talk about this channel a little bit. Last week I did another comic history last Thursday that I put out. Obviously, we did a Fear Agent video on Wednesday. So those are things that have been out a little bit. Continuing my goal of trying to do extra pre-recorded video every week, and last week it was a comic history. Obviously, I put out the regular look back on this morning. Yes, back on the original night. John is old enough to remember, as hadn't been around my channel long enough to remember that I used to do this on Sunday nights, and then for a long time I would do it like right before D&D. And then try to end it and take the dog out and get back. And then, and so eventually I just had to bump it to Saturdays to make it more doable with the way we were doing D&D and stuff. But yeah, this used to be a Sunday night staple. And, but it's been on Saturdays now since I took over D&D, and that was like almost 3 years ago now. So, yeah. But last night I had family stuff, so we're doing it tonight. Hey, Enja Benja, how are you? Happy Sunday to you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping by and spending part of your Sunday with me. Good time man for this. We make adjustments. So we are hanging out. We are going to do a real quick shout out. Oh, so coming up on the channel, I got completely sidetracked. Shocking, that never happens on the show. As it happens constantly. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I said happy Mother's Day to my mom in person this morning before they headed home. But happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. You all do way more than we can, sons and daughters, ever thank you for, but we appreciate it nonetheless. I got so excited I burned the on the oven. Oh, don't do that. We don't need injuries. No injuries. No emergency room trips. We got to be smart. Be careful. So, So back to stuff coming up on the channel. That's the stuff that came out. There should be a. Hang on a second. Can you get it? Did you put it where you can't get it? Well, you're going to have to do without for a little bit. Here you go. I'll get you a different one. The cat has a bunch of these, and the only one she had down here at the moment, she put where she can't get to it, and I'm not taking it out right now. So she's going to have to chase the yellow one now. So there you go. So I mean, to see me. This is true. No. You're a wonderful person. No, John's just clumsy. So, brats and sauerkraut, baked potatoes, very nice. Very German meal tonight. There you go. Are you gonna take it in there and lose it again? Okay, probably. should be a Cash or Trash tomorrow night. Wednesday night, I will be hanging out with this guy and Daymares, and we'll be talking more 100 Bullets. I have actually finished reading this section of the story. We're reading volumes 11 and 12. When we get done with that, we will only have one volume of 100 Bullets left. So I may see if I can get them to do that here very quick. You dropped it over there where I have to move to get it. I can't throw it for you. This is my cat's favorite game. She fetches worse than more than my Labrador used to. Go get it. There you go. But she doesn't do a very good job bringing it back. And Brussels sprouts. Yeah. I like me some good Brussels sprouts. Nope, she's got it behind the door now. But anyway, I'm very distracted at the moment. They are in the oven, so they're oven roasting. There you go. So yeah, we got that on Wednesday. Thursday we'll be doing another pre-recorded video. I think I know what I'm doing. I think I got it worked out. I got to do some finalizing, but should have a pre-recorded video Thursday. It'll be another top list of things. One I haven't done for a while. Where I'm headed is probably my JP's top 50 covers in his collections, or my favorite 50 covers in my collection. The last time I did that video was 2020, so it's been 5 years. I did not look at that video to see, give myself ideas. I literally just went through and was looking for covers that I love. And yeah, and that's how I was pulling stuff out. So I got me a list, a little more than 50. I got to do some narrowing down, but we will get there. So that'll be my Thursday video. So those are things I got coming up on the channel. Hey, Vinny, what is going on, sir? Appreciate you. So with that, let's get into what we picked up this week, and then we'll get into our reading, which is going to be the big chunk of this probably. I do have a Thunderbolts review in there too. So picked up this week. Well, I was gifted this week. We will show it off. I showed it off a little bit, very briefly. Actually, I will save that before I do my first book thing. I'll save that for when I do my book. New comics that came in. Batman 159, the second issue of Hush. Dear God, it's bad. I mean, it's almost cartoony bad. It's so bad. It's how bad is it? Are you sharing or what? Was I sharing or what? Hey, Kenneth, what's going on, sir? I mean, I thought, okay, the first issue, it was very all over the place. I mean, we're apparently going back in time with Jason. Didn't we do all this stuff with Jason during the Three Jokers? And then we did it previously during Under the Red Hood. And this whole, this is the fifth time we've done Jason and Batman fight over the fact that Batman's keeping Joker alive. It's cartoonishly bad. It's just so bad. It's so bad. I'm so disappointed. I mean, the art, the whole thing, it's just bad. It doesn't make any sense. They make Leslie out she wasn't a friend of Bruce's parents, which they make it he didn't meet her till the night she was the one that found him, and she didn't know his parents beforehand in there. It doesn't make any sense with Batman history or logic. It's awful. It's just awful. So that is the only book that I only read 2 books this week. My other things that came in last Monday that should have been in before was I did get a facsimile of Raven and Bolt 60, which I've read before, but now I do have a reader copy to go with my ones. I've already read it before, so I did not reread it this week. I did get 3 more issues as we're coming to the end finally of High Republic Phase 3. I'm super behind on these, so no, I have not read any of these yet because I really haven't read hardly any of Phase 3, even though I've been collecting it, which is kind of dumb, but I've been doing it anyway. Yeah, it's just bad. But luckily, my new comic was saved this week because I got, what year is this? Number 7 And this is the cover I got of Absolute Wonder Woman. I got this cover for Absolute Wonder Woman number 7. And I think this is my favorite issue of the run so far. Her versus Hades in the contest, and her mom, and that she wasn't supposed to leave hell. And I thought this issue was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed this. I really am digging this version of Wonder Woman, this version of Cersei and the world. I thought this issue was really, really, really good. I love this cover. I think this cover is badass. It's I didn't put it on my list, but it might be a contender. I might have to consider. I haven't finalized yet. I'm about around 60, a little over 60 is covers on my potential list that I got to narrow down for my video on Thursday. But yeah, this was excellent. So good. So at least I got one really good comic to read this week. For sure. So that was my pickup / new comic reading. My other pickup is going to lead us into our first book that we're going to talk about as we get into our what did we read this? What are we reading? But this came from this guy just yesterday. It just showed up yesterday. And yeah, Bad Boys for Life. He got these from, dang it, and I'm gonna from Bethany. John is busy, and I did not pre-get her link. I should have done that. I'm bad. I will try to go back and put it in the things afterward. But yeah, he had these made for all the boys reading the Sarah J. Maas books with him and hanging out on his show with him and Bearded. Crashed by Bethany. Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah, I just didn't get I was going to get the page and I forgot, and I'm not skilled enough to search for it at the moment, so I'll have to put the link in the description. But yeah, so he got Bad Boys tumblers, so that's fun. So that is awesome. So I appreciate it. Thank you, John. Thank you to Bethany for putting those together. They're very cool. See, John is on it. He is moderating while he's cooking dinner. Look at him go. Look at the skills. See, I'm not skilled enough to YouTube and search for stuff. He's cooking dinner, watching and searching and moderating. Look at that guy. No wonder he's got 3,000 subs. So, which is pretty cool. I guess it showed up Friday, not yesterday. But but that leads us to the first of the things we're going to talk about in my reading stack. We had Rod Rican showing up in here. What is going on, Rod? Oh, clicked on Gordon's comment instead of Rod's comment. You can sell that to me. No way. That was a gift. I will be keeping that. I should have actually since I was just drinking water for sure. That should have been what my drink was in tonight. I didn't even think about it. I had it sitting down here because I showed it off during John's stream and I didn't think about it. But what are we reading? We finished over the last weekend, early this week. We finished Assassin's Blade, which is the 4th/1st book in the Throne of Glass series. So this is kind of the prequel, and it's a series of 5 short stories, sort of, but they really tells one story. It basically gets you the year in the life of our heroine Selena when she was operating as an assassin before she gets captured and goes to the slave mines, and then where we later meet her at the start of the Throne of Glass book series. So I've wondered, it's considered it came out 4th in timeline. It's the first book in terms of when it happened. I'm thoroughly on board with this. Was a better read. I think this was better to have read now than it would have been at the beginning. And I say that because I think it was important to meet Selena when we did. I think coming out of the mines, getting the start of the crux. And this is just a nice, okay, take a breath. Let's hear some of what happened to her beforehand. I really enjoyed these. I thought they were really good. It's not where does it rank in the book series? How did I rank them? I'm very curious. Airfire is still the favorite book of the 4 that I've read so far. Um, it's probably the fourth book of the four. That doesn't mean I don't really like it, but it's probably the fourth book of the four because just the nature of what it is, because of the nature of the short stories. But I feel like it probably sets up a lot of stuff that we're going to see going forward in the finale of the series, in the final four books or whatever we got left. I have the feeling some of these characters, particularly the little healer that she meets and helps on her way after saving the slaves. I mean, the slaves might show up, but I have a feeling the healer is going to show up for sure. What is her name? I've forgot it. So, that's Ansel, not her. The one that, yeah. Urine. Anyway, yeah, Urine. I have the feeling we're going to see her more. And then I have the feeling that we're going to get to meet Ansel some more, that Ansel, her friend turned enemy that she let live. Something tells me she has a role to play. But really, what this book sets up and why I think it's important, and I think it's a good place to read it, is we finally get some of the backstory of the relationship between her and Arrowman, who was the king of assassins, the man who found her when she was a kid, and raised her and trained her to be an assassin. We get to see the nature of their relationship. We get to see how big an a-hole he is. There's clearly a reckoning that is going to have to happen between these two characters at the end of the book. We see what he's done to her, both good and bad, and that she doesn't. Like at the end of this book, when she gets captured and she's being hauled off to the salt mines, like she knows he betrayed her, but she won't admit it to herself. So I think from that standpoint, I do think it's very. I mean, having not read the rest of it, I feel like, boy, that was important background to get. The nature of their relationship, the nature of what he did to her, her feelings about him, as mixed as they are. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this one. I think all of these are very good. We get to see the nature of her and Sam. You know where that's going, which stinks. It's a disturbing relationship. It really is. He's like father, but not father figure, but abusive. And I mean, she's only alive because he is. She's only has the skills because he is who he is. But he was also awful. And so it'll be very interesting to see like how, that reckoning that's going to have to come before the other story is over. It'll be very interesting to see where it goes. But I think it was great. I thought it was really, really good. I enjoyed it. It's probably still fourth of the fourth books. I definitely feel like you should read it in fourth and not first, because I do think it's important to meet Selena where we meet her. But I think it was a fun interlude, step back. I didn't feel like it kills the momentum of reading the other books. I think it fills it out pretty well. So that's where I'm at. So like I've really enjoyed this whole series. So all of these Throne of Glass books, I've enjoyed a lot. So no surprise that I enjoyed this one too. So even though it's probably fourth of four, it's still really good. And yeah, I think it fills in some important holes that we're going to want to know about. The other thing that we read, because of this guy, and more importantly, Bearded decided that, they needed to start another book series. And they couldn't just not start that book series. They had to, they couldn't just keep reading what we were reading. No, they had to start something else. And so now I have dived into Rebecca Yarros's Fourth Wing. And as you can see by the change in my title down below, the Sarah J. Maas books are known as like fairy smut and all of this kind of stuff. And there is almost, I've read 7 Sarah J. Maas books. None of the Throne of Glass series have any smut. I've read 7 books, and there's almost as much smut in this book as there are in those 7. So I found the smut. I put that down on the bottom because when I was on John's show to talk about Air of Fire, I was like, still looking for the smut. Well, I found it. It was here. So this is a different world. We got dragons. It's more fantasy. It's basically Harry Potter's a girl and he goes to a dragon riding school. I mean, basically a military academy. I mean, it's kind of what this whole book is. Sort of. That's an oversimplification. So we finished this week. I tore through this pretty fast. This was a lot of fun. Violet, who is our hero in this book, or our protagonist, I should say, is interesting. She is sickly, I guess. She comes from, her mother is a general who's super important in this world. Her father was a scholar that passed away. Both her brother and sister were dragon riders, and that served like her mother, who's a dragon rider. And basically, but she was born, her mother was sick when she was, the background here is mother was sick when she was pregnant with her, and she's been sickly her whole life. She's small. She has weak joints. She's not, super physically strong. And because of that, her dad had trained her that she was going to follow her dad and be a scholar and not be a dragon rider. Well, after her dad passes away, her mom decides, nope, everyone in our family, the Sorengals are dragon riders, and you're going to either make it or die, which is what happens in the school. Like, a lot of people die in the school. So that's kind of the setup here. And we find out that there was a revolution, a revolt a few years back, and all these people that were killed that led this kind of revolt. Their children are now at the school and being forced to become dragon riders. And she meets kind of the leader of them, who's a couple of years older, who is our, our main love interest here. And Zayden Rorson is his character's name. And this book I had a lot of fun with this book. Andor is so amazing. I have not started Andor. You're good. I am so far behind. I know my sister told me I need to watch Tales of the Underworld, but those were really good. I didn't get to those yet. I haven't started Andor. I'm so far behind. I'm always behind on TV. It's just the way it is. Here lately, I've been all about books. I'm not going to lie. For a long time, I'd kind of put novels and history stuff away. And I got to read a few books a year, but not a ton. And then with my foot surgery, I got into reading, and I have been reading. Like, I spend my evenings reading, not necessarily watching TV. So yeah, I have not watched Andor. I have not done anything. I am currently, let's just pull up the book list here. And I'm counting like omnis and trades and stuff, but Fourth Wing is, let's just make this a little bigger, and I'll share it with this. You guys can just see. Make it even bigger. You guys don't need to see my rate. Yeah, so we have done, this has been 2025. I'm going to share this with you guys real quick. Share screen. I just want a window. Book reading list. Share. See if you guys can see this. Yeah, these are everything. I'm 22 books in. Now that counts like omnis that I read this year. We got some history. We got fantasy. Obviously, there's been a bunch of Sarah J. Maas stuff in there. But yeah, that is my book list. My goal is 60 some odd books. Tacoma, not into the Ashads. My sister was all about the Ashads Ventress, but she liked Ventress from like Clone Wars stuff. But yeah, so we have been cranking through books all year. And that includes like omnis are thrown in here too. So you can see those. But yeah. So it's been I've been all about reading this year. And so Fourth Wing, I really enjoyed Violet. She's not your typical. I mean, she is. She's like the unexpected heroine and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I think she's crafty. I think she's entertaining. She's kind of her main strength is her brain, which I really enjoy the way she uses it in this. I like some of the side characters. Her buddy that she makes right off the bat. That I'm blanking on the name of because I get in here and then I can't remember characters' names. With Rhiannon, I really enjoyed her. I really enjoyed some of the other in her squad. Of course, her childhood friend is here and he's trying to protect her. And there's this back and forth because they probably were going to be something, but now he's scared that she's not going to make it, and he's very much by the book, and that's causing tension between the two of them because he sort of doesn't really believe in her. And she goes through this, and it's really, really well done. It's really enjoyable. I would say, like, I find it interesting, and this is just a tweak, and Beardy kind of put this thought in my brain, but I totally agree with it. Is I feel like this is a little more YA written in terms of the way, like these are written, like the Sarah J. Maas stuff, they're sort of like borderline YA kind of thing, but they're like, young adult, but they're written a little more just like adult fantasy kind of things, not necessarily ignoring the smut part, but just doing that. This, like the way it's written, totally feels a little more YA to me than, which I like. Like, I don't mind that. And I really enjoy it. It's straightforward. It's an easy, quick, I guess because it's a very easy and quick read. Like, I feel like the chapters move fast. Like, the way it just feels, has the tone of a YA book. And then it has some of the dirtiest smut that you can imagine. It's only 2 scenes, but damn. And I enjoyed the heck out of that too. So, it definitely comes across. It reads more YA. It really does. And, but when it goes smut, it goes smut. So I thought I enjoyed it. It was really good. I'm not going to say too much because John's in here. I know he is in the act of reading it. I really enjoy Violet, or Violence, as one of the characters nicknames her. And she's kind of finding her way and finding the side of herself she didn't know existed, and finding a way to kind of overcome her own handicaps in this world and stand up for herself. I really enjoy her journey. I enjoy the cast of characters around her, from Rhiannon, her friend that she makes right off the bat, to Liam, who's just a great character in this book, and Dane is an interesting, like, childhood friend, maybe boy love interest, but not really because he can't get out of his own way. And then we, of course, have Zayden, who is, the dark and brooding, bad boy, maybe wants to kill her, maybe wants to love her kind of thing. So, I found it interesting. I found it fun. It's a very quick read. The smut was a nice bonus. So I'm looking forward to it. I think there's 2 more books that are out, and I think it's supposed to be eventually a 5-book series. So, I will have to now go back. They said they were going to read this. I ordered just this one and then some other books when I made my book order. I will now have to go back and get the next 2 books to get to them, and get them read. But I liked it a lot. It was good. The next thing I am working on is I'm going back to history. I got the book is called Big Fella. It's a biography of Babe Ruth that I'm reading that I literally just started today. It's been a couple days since I finished that, but I read this instead. I read our 2 volumes of this, and then my folks were here, so I didn't read much the last couple nights. So I just started that. So this week will all be a little baseball history book before I dive back into. I don't know what I know what next book is in the stack. My book, so there's 22. I showed you guys there's 22 finished books. The stack on my little bookshelf next to my bed, where I have the to read stack, is 21 books deep, I believe. So that's before I buy 2 more Fourth Wing books or whatever. So I got a stack. I got a stack. I got some reading to do. But yeah, we're gonna read Big Fella and see how that goes. We started it today. I'm only like 25 pages in or whatever. So yeah, but I'm enjoying spending more time reading, like just novels and stuff. It's something that I used to do, and I still have them. Like there was probably like a 10-year period where every year I like kept track of the books that I read every year, and it was like 30 books. My goal was 30 books a year, like, and I would knock it off every year, like 30 novels or history books or something a year. I'm obviously way ahead of that right now. Part of that is because I included like these omnis that I've been reading, but there's still quite a bit of reading to those. But they're quicker reads than some of these. But then again, I read this in like 3 days. So I read this in basically 4 settings. Yeah, so it's so I'm cranking through some of this pretty fast. But we're enjoying it. So I think at this point we're gonna get to what are we watching. And let me do a edit and do this. So we'll put this across the bottom. Because I did go see this. Now I saw it last Sunday. So we can get the found the smut off the thing. Because Thunderbolts did not have the smut. So Thunderbolts is no smut. We did go see Thunderbolts. First movie I'd been to since like last fall. It's been a while since I'd been to a movie. And I enjoyed the heck out of Thunderbolts. I know it's getting really good reviews. I think it's dumb that they're kind of changing the name, but whatever. Like, I get it. It's saying, but I thought it was really good. I felt like they took a step back in complexity and focused on a couple of characters, and the result was they made a better movie than they've made in a while. There's no real, I mean, you could argue Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character is a villain, but there's not really the classic villain in this movie, but it is really well done. And it's really, yeah, I loved it. It's really Yelena and Bob's movie. Those are the focus of this movie. John Walker is in it. Well, we don't get a lot of John Walker. Ghost is in it. We don't get a lot of Ghost. I mean, she's in it like throughout the thing, but we really don't get a lot with her. David Harbour's Red Guardian is pure comic relief. He does have a couple of nice moments with Yelena. But he's mostly just comic relief. I mean, we get more time with Bucky than we get with those other 3, I think, in terms of like actual focus time on Bucky, which is very weird. I like the Bucky being a congressman thing is like, and maybe because I haven't had a chance to see Brave New World yet, maybe that would explain that whole aspect of Bucky being a congressman. But yeah. The villain of the movie is depression. So I think that's why it works. It's very much a focus on these are people that are struggling and they all have abilities, they all thing, but they're all struggling. Like we'd seen Yelena and Hawkeye really struggling to deal with Natasha's death. And we see her here, basically, she's thrown herself into work. Working for Dave Fontaine. I forget the whole name of Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character. But she's been like out hunting and killing people and doing this, basically being a Black Widow, just on her own terms, I guess, and isolated and struggling. We meet her, she's struggling. She's very depressed. She's very struggling. We see Red Guardian, who himself is like basically working as a limo driver and still trying to put on a front, but he's basically, like, you see where he's living. He's like struggling. We meet the 4 other agents, and I won't go on. One little spoiler: Taskmaster is not in this movie very long, but we meet the others, and they basically have been signed up to eliminate each other. And and then we meet, and we see what John Walker's basically lost his family over everything that happened in Captain and the Winter Soldier, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We see Ghost is still like just trying to piece her life together after the events of Ant-Man. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is fantastic in the movie. I thought everybody was really, really good. I thought all the performances were really good. I mean, I think David Harbour, like, Red Guardian is tough. Like, he's playing him over the top ridiculous in a lot of the scenes. And it could ruin the movie, but I feel like he finds the right balance that it doesn't. Like, I could see people that don't think he found the right balance. It would be like, oh, he's just annoying. Because he's kind of Korg and, the Thor movies or whatever. He's just over the top comic relief. And I think his performance is really good because I feel like he walks the line. And then the couple of scenes that he gets with her where she's like, no, I'm struggling, dad, dad. Like, to her, he's just dad. And where he tries to support her, I feel like he does a pretty good job of walking that balance. I could totally see that, but I think he does okay of not making it a complete caricature. There's enough there that it's like, okay, like, it's tolerable for me, but he's right at the line. Like, he walks it right to the line. I mean, it gets as close as he can. But I feel like, Florence Pugh is Yelena, and I can't remember the actor's name that plays Bob, that plays Sentry, pack this movie. They are this movie. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. I think those couple moments save it for me, but like, seeing her go through this, and then through this trying to help Bob. So we find out the Sentry program is basically, they were doing testing on these people, and they were just taking people off the street. These were people that were never meant to actually get the power. They were just trying to figure out if they could do it. They thought he was dead, but he wasn't. He wakes up and doesn't really remember everything. And basically, this was a guy with severe depression, like, was abused as a child, like, has all kinds of issues. And yeah, as a result, we see the Void. But the way they handle the Void, the way they've handled the whole thing with, like, throughout the movie of him touching people and people going back to horrible memories, like their worst memories. And then basically that when you get sucked into the Void, that is what you're reliving. And then Yelena finding a way through her suck-ass memories to help him. Like, it's just really, the whole thing with Bob and Sentry is really well done. The Void is really well done. I mean, his power is, and John will have to help me. I felt like I don't remember him having quite that much power. Like, the whole, like, force stopping everything. Like, I knew he was, like, super strong and everything else, but I didn't realize he had, like, the ability to, like, stop bullets and, like, basically keep them from hitting him and, like, push them without touching them. Like, yeah, it's so well done. They focus on those two characters and make the movie really well done. I will say the funniest line is for sure not Red Guardian. The funniest line is when they all make it into the Void and are trying to help Bob find his way out. And Bucky's like, "Oh yeah, my memories are great. Oh, my memory. I don't have any traumatic memories. This is great." Like, I love that scene. But yeah. Okay, I felt like they were a little extreme. I was like, "Good God, is there anything he can't do?" Like, it was, but I loved the movie. I thought it was really, really good. I thought the Void was handled really well. The way as John says, the way the effects for the powers and stuff. and Bob, like, and just Bob's nature in general, and how easily, like, she and Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character and manipulates him, and like, but yeah, I just think it's all really, really well done. I love it. Like, I thought the post-credit scenes were good. The whole scene where they're like, "Hey, Bob, where are your things?" He's like, "No Century without the Void." So sorry. So he's part of the team, but he does nothing because he can't be Century without risking the Void, which is, I thought, was really well done. Well, because he is so OP, like the way they make him in this movie, if like Century is so OP that like there's literally like Thanos wouldn't like be a threat to him in this movie, like at all. So it'll be interesting to see how they try to handle that going forward. If they maybe use the fact that he can't risk the risk of becoming the Void again, of him not being able to use the full abilities, therefore they nerf him a little bit so that he can actually be a part of the story. That'll be interesting. But yeah, I enjoyed the heck out of it. I thought it was great. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what's Superman next or Fantastic Four next. I forget. Both of which I'm looking forward to. So I thought it was really well done. It was good. So that is my thoughts on Thunderbolt. What would I give Thunderbolt? What John said, at 8.5 out of 10. I think that's about right. 8 or an 8.5, right in there, which is really, really good. It's really enjoyable. I don't know that I'll make it to the theater to see it again. I might try. It just depends on what my schedule is like. Unfortunately, I live in a town with a very small theater, so it doesn't take long for movies to vanish. So if I go see it again, I will probably have to like go to the city or something, but we'll see. But yeah, it's at least, it was good enough that I would consider seeing it again. How about that? So that should give you a idea of how much I enjoyed it, which I haven't went to see a Marvel movie twice in the theater for a while. All right, so that is, those are my reviews, my 2 books, my movie I went and saw this week. I'm super behind on everything else as far as TV shows and that kind of stuff. I have not shouted out my members yet, so let's do that real quick. So yeah, we got 18 channel members right now. We got Bear Island, Old Wolf, Monty Ray, and my Robin tier, Circumstances, Unruly, Bolton 16, Carlito, Classico, Jay Carter, Jimmy Walker, Bat Cadto, Plenty of the Younger, Rad, Art and Comics, Ryan Pratt, Horvath, Aggressively Relaxing, and Taylor Winder are my members. I appreciate you guys. You're keeping the lights on. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for being members and supporting the channel. And let's put this on, and we're ready for whatever you guys want to talk about until we get out of here. So for a few more minutes. Looks like it's down to John in the chat. Everybody else has been pretty quiet for a while. I don't know if I ran them off with the Thunderbolts review or what, but yeah. So I did find a thing that was like some memes about the fact that I've suddenly like down this whole smutty book like rabbit hole, which I think is fun. So we'll see what I have to read after I get through Fourth Wing and these Sarah J. Maas series, where I go next on my journey through smutty fantasy books. But although again, yay, smutty memes. Yes, I found some good ones today. But again, I find it interesting that I feel like this is the author that when like people talk about it, because of not necessarily because of this series, because this series has none, but because of the Court of Thorns and Roses, it's like everybody's like, oh, fantasy smut. Sarah J. Maas is like the prominent, and there's like that's her whole like online thing. Where you see those books and stuff, and there's like, again, I've read 7 Sarah J. Maas books, and there's more smut in here, or as much as those first 3 Court of Thorns and Roses books, and way more than the entire series. So there's my man Damers. What is going on, sir? I need to actually talk to him offline at some point, maybe this week. We'll see. Because I did get a request for my next Let's Collect that should happen not this week, but next week, if I'm going to stay on schedule. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or not. I'm going to have to like tap my man Damer's knowledge because I haven't been able to find what I'm really looking for there from the request. So I may have to reach out to you, buddy. Get you to help me on a Let's Collect for sure. So beyond that, yeah, I don't know. Not a whole lot going on over here. We got, what else do we got going on? Oh, giveaway this month. I have decided, but I don't have exactly, I'm not ready to show exactly what I'm going to do for the May giveaway for members. I am going to still give away those dividers, that pack of 25 comic dividers from BCW. I'm going to give that away. I do have, there will also be a trade and a couple of books that are going to go in the May giveaway. But you guys aren't going to see it next week. I will show that off. So I will do so. We'll find a night this week we can talk for a little bit. So, and yeah, and Damers is here, so that's a reminder that Wednesday we're going to be talking 100 Bullets with him and John. I'm looking forward to this. I finished this today, the section that we're reading for Wednesday. I have angry thoughts, and John knows what those angry thoughts are about. But we will get there. I'm very curious to see how this ends at this point with one volume left. I think I know where it's headed after reading these two, but it'll be a good discussion on Wednesday. See what these guys think and how much John makes me realize I'm just way off track on what I'm thinking, but we'll see. All right. I'm seeing no stuff in the chat of what you guys want to talk about. So I'll give you another minute or so, but we might wrap this up early and then I'll go read some more. Because that's pretty much what I do right now. Let's see. What else? Anything else I have that I can talk about? Not really. Not a whole lot going on. I talked since I went to New Comic Book Day or Free Comic Book Day. I haven't really bought anything. I'm not really looking to buy anything at the moment in terms of for the collection. I'm making some other plans and some other financial moves that I will tell some folks about eventually. And so I'm kind of sitting on not really spending comic money at the moment. So we will see. And then I keep buying damn books. So here you go. I made this joke and I blamed John and Bearded and Big O Paul for this because they were like, oh, we're going to read this next. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll get it. So I went to order this book. I ordered, how many books did I order? 6 books. It was 6 books. I ordered 7 books. 7 books. I ordered 7 books. Like 7 books to read. So yeah, that's how my pile got to 21. I think that's right. I said John the thing. I was like, it's all your guys' fault that I have no self-control. No. Yeah, I found 7 books to read to order on my last order from to buy books. And it's just what is wrong with me? I have no willpower. Let's get back here. Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 books. So my pile, actually, is the 21 counting the Babe Ruth book I'm reading right now, or is that 22? I forget. But anyway, we're 22 books in to 2025. When in doubt, blame John. This is correct. Always the case. Always correct. And he's usually good for it. He's usually good for, he handles it well. So, yeah, 7 books. And I didn't order book 2 of this, which means I'm going to have to order more books. Darn the luck. I got to buy more books. My reading style is too, 20 deep. My 2 read. That is not counting my omnibus 2 read. Oh, I don't know if I said anything. John and I did decide what we were going to do for our next, which will be on his channel, but our next Omni read, but I have to start. I have not started yet, which is we're going to do Daredevil, Bendis Volume 2. It's only 20, 23 or 24 issues. So this is a little smaller than the previous one. I have not broken in this one yet, so I need to do that. But yeah, we're going to read this. It's going to be our new Omni for this month. I need to get started on that soon. So, but now that I got the 100 Bullets read, where we can talk Wednesday, and yeah, that'll be the next thing I dive into comic-wise, in terms of bound book kind of thing. So, all right, gang, with that, I'm going to wrap this up. We're at 50 minutes, close enough. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you took the time to say Happy Mother's Day to the mothers in your life. And if you're missing them at this point, hope you had a nice memory or something today to remember them by. But yeah, tell them thanks. Tell them you love them while you can. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. All right. I already did members. I'm good. Yeah, I've done everything I need to do to wrap this up. So we're going to wrap it up. Later.